I will call this meeting of the Plan Commission to order. If I could have a roll call whenever you're ready.
Mr. Ackerson?
Here.
Ms. Billman? Here. Mr. Fell?
Here.
Mr. Fitch?
Here.
Mr. Hopkins?
Here.
Ms. Wadrago? Mr. Trail?
Here.
Mr. Turner? And Ms. Yu? Here.
We do have a quorum. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No, they're not.
We do not have meeting minutes at this time. We'll get them in the next meeting. Are there any communications? I don't think there are.
No, there were not.
Continued public hearing, plan case number 2331 T18, a request by the zoning administrator to amend the Urbana zoning ordinance to modify who may submit an application for various permits and approvals. This case is continued to the March 22nd, 2018 Plan Commission meeting. We don't have any old business. We do have a new public hearing that I'm going to open now. This is Plan Case 2339 T18, an application by the zoning administrator to amend the zoning ordinance to combine the Mixed Office Residential Development Review Board and the Design Review Board. This case will also be continued to the March 22nd, 2018 Plan Commission meeting. New business. We have Plan Case 2330M 2018, Annual Review of the Official Zoning Map. So, Mr. Marks.
So as required by law, every year the city must adopt an official zoning map that includes all the changes of any zoning changes, any parcel lines, property changes, just any changes to the map as far as zoning is concerned. Has to be updated by March of every year. The last time it was updated last year was March 20, 2017. And ordinance 2017-03015. For if this map were recommended for approval by the Plan Commission, it would be forwarded to City Council with it for consideration at their March 19, 2018 meeting. The map, which was sent out with the memorandum, included some highlighted changes of what has changed in the last 2 years, or I'm sorry, the last year. There were two annexations, one at 801 North Smith Road on the eastern portion of the eastern side of the city, as well as a very tiny sliver of property at 2912 East Main Street. The one at Smith Road was converted to industrial, to Ion 1 for light industrial use. The property at 2912 East Main Street is for use by the sanitary district. There were a series of rezonings, some of which occurred just very recently, the one on Main Street and then the East Main Street, the one on Smith Road, that were part of the annexations, as I mentioned. The one on 1303 North Cunningham Avenue, that was the Cunningham Children's Home rezoning part of their property along Cunningham Avenue so that they could make it available for commercial development. There was also a portion on 1102 North Broadway Avenue. That is the old Washington school that's being prepared that was rezoned to R3 for the school district and preparing to turn that into residential development. There were a whole series of properties along Lincoln Avenue, West Church Street, and West Hill Street, which, as of the time of this memorandum was sent out, it indicated the City Council was pending approval. Those rezonings were approved on Monday. For a residential development, all those were rezoned to R4. There was also a series of rezonings along the 200 block of West Green Street, as those were properties owned by the library. Those were rezoned to B4, which is our downtown district. There was also 302 North Broadway, which was rezoned from IN1 to B4 for the purpose of zoning consistency, to bring it in line with the zoning ordinance. There were a series of subdivision plats throughout the city this past year, some of them in city limits, most of them outside of city limits. There was, as well as a few certificate of exemptions and a stormwater detention waiver. There was also a planned unit development at the address of 1404 South Lincoln Avenue. That is the conversion of the old Zeta Tau Alpha House to apartment units. There was a new overlay district created in southeast Urbana along Philo Road, kind of inching between Philo Road and then going west down Colorado and moving forward. Actually, did I have that? That district was created for the purpose of providing public safety through design standards. It basically requires some uses to be permitted with a special use permit, and as well as some design standards for those special uses within that district. As of Monday, there was also one vacated right-of-way that was approved by the council. That is a portion of West Green Street, which was actually accommodated on the larger maps that were passed out. There are two which are pending before council this month, which might appear on the final map. One is on the 900 block of East Water Street. That's right along the railroad tracks. It's just one block. It's a stretch that the Public Works Department anticipates being vacated since it has no use for it. Another was on the was along 400 East Green Street, going north to south on that block. There was a petition submitted for that as well, which will be considered by the council later this month. With that said, did you have any questions regarding the map, the draft of the official zoning map?
Any questions? Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Marks? Mr. Hopkins?
I may not be hearing. You're talking about vacations on Green Street?
East Green Street, an alleyway on East Green Street between Green and High. Let me confirm that, actually.
That-
East Green Street.
That's probably right behind us here. Yeah, right, yeah.
It's this stuff.
Yeah.
right here. It's the alley that's being vacated?
It's an alleyway, yes. It's an inactive,
It's not actually the Green Street. It's not Green Street right-of-way.
No.
It's alley right-of-way.
yeah, I should clarify.
Identified by address. Well, it's an east-west?
No, it's north-south.
It's a north-south alley
Oh, it's this alley, not this alley.
that's inactive.
So the east-west alley still exists.
E-
It's on the map.
Yes, I would have to look more closely at the map, but
Not sure it does still exist, but anyway, okay. So you'll check whether that east-west actually exists?
yeah, I believe it does.
Yeah, okay.
Any further questions for Mr. Marks?
Are you gonna, you've gone through the list. In the list, there were some typos, would be the simplest way to describe them. I'm not sure they've been caught, because I didn't watch the list as you went through. So if you
wanna
can
highlight those?
Scroll back to the beginning of the list, and I can look. Yeah, the third, no, wait. 1, 2, 3, the fourth line under rezonings appears to have occurred on a date that does not yet happen in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says 2008.
Oh, that should
Yeah,
say
October
2017.
I assume it's 2017.
Yes,
but
that would-
I-
I think it was in, well, there are a few dates we need to check, yes.
Oh, there are some others too? Okay. All right, anyway, that was, that one even somebody like me could figure out, couldn't be right.
Further questions? No? Thank you, Mr. Marks. Any discussion? Or motions?
I would move we accept the updated zoning map with the corrections and the dates as mentioned.
Moved by Mr. Ackerson. Second by Mr. Fell. Any further discussion? No? We'll do this on a roll call vote then.
Ms. Bowman? Yes. Mr. Fell?
Yes.
Mr. Fitch?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trail?
Yes.
Ms. Yu?
Yes.
And Mr. Ackerson?
Yes.
That motion passes. And I assume the city council will take this up reasonably swiftly?
That's correct.
Great. Let's see what's next. No audience participation? Do we have a staff report?
The property at 713 West Ohio is scheduled for council on March 19th. It's a downtown rezoning to B4. Was approved on March 5th. The Illinois American Water Site, which was a rezoning and comp plan amendment, was approved on March 5th as well. For the Champaign County Nursing Home rezoning, the applicant has requested that item be deferred until May.
Okay, thank you. Anything further?
That is
That's it. All right, well, we don't have a study session. Therefore, hearing no objection, we're adjourned.